Look at the next drill in our butterfly series. This is going to be a one-arm drill on the right side, and let's go over the key items and what we look for here in the stroke. We'll start out here really focusing on the kick. Remember that butterfly is a short axis stroke, so all of our power here is going to really be derived from the kick. The more power that we can get here from the kick, that's going to ultimately help that body really travel forward as we're moving through the water. Now we want you guys to take notice of something right here. Check out the knee flexion here. We want to be able to have a level of knee flexion in the kick here. If we keep everything to be too stiff, then we're going to have the legs be really long, like they would be right here, and that ultimately isn't really going to help us move through the water. Same thing here, if we kind of are just having those legs be at a 90 degree where we just kick up and down and not connecting to the hips or the shoulders here. So Natalie here does a great job of just this dolphin kick. The proper amount of knee flexion, and then what we see then is the feet rise. So then what we can see then is the feet are going to be coming down just like that. Coming off that, we've got great power to be able to drive forward here. We want you to also take a notice of this inverse relationship that is going to be present with the hips and the chest and feet. So here the feet and chest are down, here the hips are up. We back up a frame, here we see the feet and the shoulders or the chest area up, and then we see then the hips here being down. So all the way we've got this great transfer of power happening here, then down to here, and then coming up to here. And then it all just transfers down as we're moving through the water. When we're moving through the water here, we look kind of for three key points. We want to see the head break the water, we want to see the hips break the water, and then we want to see the feet here break the water. And great movement right there. As we look at the drill here, the left arm is going to be up at this in front, and then we're going to be really focusing more here on the right. We kind of see here the hand is coming out right at that hip area, perfect where we want to be. Arm here is going to be nice and long. We'll get a better view of this on the return. And then we want to see that hand here enter up in front. When we press down, we really want to focus on just being just below the surface, so that way we can really feel like we're going to be moving forward as we then travel through. Here, what we see then is the breath being taken. Now, this is really critical in the butterfly stroke. So here we kind of see that breath being taken as that hand is passing the shoulders. And then as that arm is going to come up and over, then we're going to get that head to get down into the water. We really kind of want to focus on that landing, or that stream of water or contact being happening here to really be able to move forward as the body is traveling through the water. When we're also taking that breath here, we'll kind of see the chin just elevated and those eyes are just looking a little bit forward. Perfect head positioning here as we take the breath, and then we're getting it back to go into the water. And then we just kind of want to feel again just shoulders, hips, and then the feet as we move. Great movement right there. As we take a look here at the underwater kick, underwater takeoff view, specifically looking at the kick here. Look at those toes, how they're nice and pointed. Feet are coming up here. Beautiful job. So then as those feet are going down, boom, look at the power of that kick there. That ultimately here is going to really help us move forward. And then we keep that kick going as we're going to be moving through the water, generating a lot of force, a lot of power there. On our return view here, let's take a look at some of those just key items. And this will allow us to have a little bit of a different perspective. Now here, the arm. Ultimately, what we would like to see, we love the length of the arm right here. We would like to see that be just a little bit lower to the surface here. And then we see the arm mostly on the shoulder line right here. Now remember, looks like a little bit of a cross there. Being on the shoulder line is going to be ultimately very ideal for our athletes. At the developmental level, we even like them to be just a little bit outside of the shoulder as we're moving through. And then check out the height of the breath. And by height, we're not saying how high, but how low here we are as we're taking that breath. So as that hand is passing the shoulder right there, we're taking that breath. Eyes here just looking slightly forward, and then we get that head back down. Then what we're going to look for is the shoulders on that landing right there. Then we also are able to see the hips and then the feet right there. And then what we want to see then is those feet really power down so that we make contact. And that really makes us feel like we're going to be moving forward here as we are traveling through the water. Taking a look here on the underwater view, kind of see here the hand kind of coming in a little bit in front of the head. What we like to see is that arm be just a little bit wider on top of the shoulder, because otherwise what we see then is, and it's right here, that little out sweep taken. And then what we ultimately want to remember is this is a freestyle movement, and what we want to see is that catch being performed with this great power triangle. We kind of see that right here. This is perfect for what we want to be able to do. Great amount of power is going to be generated there, so that way we can really feel like we're grabbing that water and moving through uh, as that catch movement is being performed. Now here, one thing we want to watch is just remember the depth. How deep do we want to go? Ultimately, what we like to see is the arms be up a little bit more here at that surface area. We want to see the chest be the deepest point, and we're kind of creating a little bit of this movement here with the arms. So see that right there, that depth. And then ultimately, the chest is going to be that deepest point. If the arms are up here a little bit more at the surface, we love where the head is at, then the chest is at the deepest point, and then we're really traveling through the water very well. Ultimately, if you found some value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.